Judy was boring.
Hello.
Then Judy discovered ChumbaCasino.com.
It's my little escape.
Now Judy's the life of the party.
Oh, baby, mama's bringing home the bacon.
Whoa, take it easy, Judy. The Chumba life is for everybody. So go to ChumbaCasino.com and play over 100 casino-style games. Join today and play for free for your chance to redeem some serious prizes. ChumbaCasino.com. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18 plus terms and conditions apply. See website for details.
Live from multiple locations via the miracle of Skype, it's the LTN Hour. Let's talk NASCAR with your host, Todd Bailing. Featuring dangerous Dan Margetta and Brian Schmidt. LTN is a caller-driven program, and your participation is encouraged by calling 414-421-7901. That's 414-421-7901. Now, the creator and host of the fastest hour in radio, Todd Bailing.
Welcome. This is Todd Bailing on estrogen today. Just teasing. Todd's actually commuting to his southern compound today, so he won't be joining us. I'm PJ Noodleman, holding down the fort, along with the co-hosts here today, Mr. Dan Margetta, who is right here.
Good morning, Greg. Glad to be here. I feel like we're on sacred ground here in the Upper Midwest Super Late Model Race when we're doing this show today. It's pretty cool to be here.
Yeah, Dan and I are actually located in West Salem. We're at the Chris Johnson Race Shop, which is where Toby Noodleman, Ty Majeski all operate out of, and that's because it's Oktoberfest race weekend, so that's where we're located at. The other co-host is Brian Schmidt from Ootsburg. I've always wanted to say that.
There you go. You have a chance. Morning.
So we have plenty to cover today. Just a ton. We'll start here with some of the results here. Wisconsin's very own Sam Mayer getting himself a win in the Xfinity Series.
Yeah, how about that? I mean, talk about having to step up and produce. I mean, I think a lot of us kind of wrote him off as far as the championship. The task was pretty tall to win at the Oval. I know he's good on road courses, but the Oval's kind of a wild card race, like a Talladega kind of deal, because it's not a true road course. And he pulled it off. Pretty impressive, eh, Brian?
Yeah, I only saw the tail end of that race, and he's very dominant car all day, leading towards the end there. And then there's a pit stop with about 10 to go, and I believe he started maybe 6th or 8th on that restart. And I thought, oh boy, hopefully he doesn't, hit the idiot switch and cause a big melee there. But he wasn't. He was very patient. He let everybody else hit the idiot switch, and then had another restart late and was behind Cole Custer and just waiting to see if he was going to, do something overly aggressive. And he really didn't. He just got into Cole just a littlest bit with about, I think it was maybe 4 to go, got by him, and then he just drove away from him. So Cole didn't even have a chance to retaliate. So that's a walk-off win for Sam there. He needed that, considering he was, 35th and 38th in the first 2 races. So he had no chance other than winning. So now he's got to produce in the next round.
I wonder if Dale Jr. actually sat down and chatted with him,
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, Sam's been close before. I mean, he's always right on the edge of getting that one. He finally got it at Road America, and now it seems like road courses are kind of his specialty. Mm-hmm. But I mean, it was fun watching him progress each year and you could see the results getting better and better and better. You know how you don't just very few people come out of the box, run out and one real good. You always got to run top 15, run top 10, run top 5. Then you get your wins, and he's kind of on that consistent mode where he's up front consistently. And some of the earlier mistakes that he would make that would hurt him are less and less and less. So I think he's on his way up. And I think this is a big statement here. I mean, because honestly, with those 2 finishes in that first 2 rounds, I mean, I don't think anybody had him in and you know that he's going to come and do what he did and do it so dominantly. And when he had to make the move, he made the move. He didn't miss the opportunity. So I think that's good for him now. Now this is the round of. He's in the round of 8 now. Is that how's on Xfinity, or do they have more?
Right. No, he's in the round of 8 now too. And the best part is, those 35th and 38th place finishes get erased, and they reset it now. So with the reset, he's 4th, and he's only 2 points to the good as they move along. So it's John Hunter Nemechek, Austin Hill, Justin Allgaier are the top 3, with Nemechek 37 playoff points. Hill has 21, Allgaier 17 to the good there. So those guys are to the good. Behind Sam, though, is Custer, Chandler Smith, Sheldon Creed, and Sammy Smith. So, it's very hard to point your way into the Final Four because, the races can be 3 races. Only one guy gets to do it. But, he's good at Martinsville. They'll be running there. The 1.5 mile program for Junior Motorsports is good. He'll be at Vegas next week. So he's going to have a chance there to run up front and the best way to do is to get a win.
Yeah, winning cures everything, right? And what a shot for confidence for him too. I mean, that's winning, like we say, fixes everything. So he should be very confident moving forward. His sister actually dates, or William Swalowicz's sister dates Sam Mayer, and Swalowicz also got into victory lane this weekend.
How about that? That's a pretty good deal for that whole family organization there. I mean, Swalowicz won the ARCA race at Toledo, so it's kind of cool having everybody win that way. I mean, today's on the Cup side, the Roval's here. This is a cutoff race. I mean, it's one of those deals that you either got to produce or go home as far as the championship is concerned. And this is the last race of the toughest round to make it out of, I think. And they're, the way guys that were on the bubble before or close, how this weekend starts could have a big impact on it. And Kyle Larson had an issue right off the bat in practice. Hey, Brian, he's got to go to a backup car and he had to go back to the shop and get it.
Yeah. This whole thing, think about, if you go back 2 weeks to Texas where he's about ready to win that race at Texas, how everything is folded on him since then, and last week at Talladega, looking to have a really good run and be 25 to 28 points ahead. And then he gets spun out coming to the start-finish line, and 8 cars pass him as he's going sideways, and that puts him only 15 ahead instead of maybe 28 ahead going into today. And then he rolls out for practice yesterday and immediately wrecks. And he said it's just his fault. He just overdrove the car too early in practice. Fortunately, being at Charlotte, they just put the thing on a rollback and drove it back to the Hendrick compound and swapped it out for a different car. But he's going to have to start 37th today. So his chance of getting stage points is going to be very minimal. So they're going to have to try to come up with a strategy to finish, up front. And, the good part about a road course is you can do that type of stuff. The bad part is today there's stage breaks again. So a lot of the strategy that you had before with the road courses goes away when we're going back to the automatic caution flag. So it'll be interesting to see what they come up with today to get his head above water. Last year this was the same race where he didn't make it out of this round last year either. And it's kind of following the same course of action as last year. So let's hope he can change that up and at least advance.
And hopefully he can get out of his head on that one. Why is NASCAR going back to stage breaks? I mean, everybody was raving that it was great that they didn't do that at the road course, and now they're going back to it.
I think it's because they had a race without any cautions, right? I mean,
Indy and Watkins Glen both were kind of real. Was Indy or Watkins Glen? One of those two was like the fastest race in the history of NASCAR, wasn't it, Dan?
Yeah, it was over pretty quickly, and I think that was part of it. I mean, the guys are smart. They're not gonna. Nobody. In the past, I think you always had cars that would come in and guys that would come in and would make mistakes, and that's getting fewer and fewer because the level to get to this point is so hard that you can't afford to make those kind of mistakes. So you can't count on that anymore. And the cars themselves, I mean, they're they don't break as much as they used to, that kind of thing. So I think if you didn't have the stage breaks, you'd have what you had at the last road course race, because nobody makes the dumb mistake anymore.
Well, usually,
yeah, they're still there. Yeah, there's still some things that'll trigger it. But.
There are a few Gumbies out there yet, for sure. So if the stage breaks are going on, I still think that Larson is one of those guys though that can still manage and break through yet, don't you? I mean, we don't have lost faith in him.
No, he's pretty good under the gun usually. I mean, obviously didn't do it last year. This year, that car has been one of the fastest cars. If you look at, there was a stat that had guys that were in the top like 5 the most in all the races this year, the top 5 or 10, and he was one of those. I mean, he was up there all the time. So that car has got speed all year long. It's just dumb things that happen or just bad luck kind of too. Luck still plays a factor in it too. You're never going to lose that out. And who are the guys that are on the bubble, Brian, as far as the guys?
Well, on the outside looking in, going into today, is Tyler Reddick. He's two to the bad, but honestly, I think he's got the best car today. So Tyler Reddick is going to be the guy to look for to probably win this race today, if things play out as you think they're going to, which a lot of times doesn't happen. Bubba Wallace is 9 out in 10th. Ross Chastain is 10 out, and Kyle Busch is 26 out. Kyle Busch is in an absolutely must-win situation. Tyler Reddick probably will be able to, bump himself in, and this is where Larson is at such a disadvantage with the stage breaks, because him being only 15 to the good, Tyler Reddick starting on the pole, Tyler Reddick wins those 2 stages just like that. They're flipped, and Larson doesn't get any points. Reddick's in, and Larson is out. Brad Kay is 2 to the good. He starts. Where does he start today? I think he's not one of the best road course racers out there. Now he's going to be starting 19th, so he probably ain't going to. He's not going to get any points either. So that's what you got to look at here with these stage points and the stage breaks and where the guys are going to go. This whole thing is going to flip as the day goes along with it being so tight.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, hello to all of our listeners on Facebook and YouTube this morning. We appreciate you tuning in.
Yeah, as well as those listening on the Big 920 in
the
Milwaukee.
Big
That's kind of cool and pretty good run.
Happy to have you here. We come back, we're going to be chatting the 2024 NASCAR schedule. This is the LTN Hour.
Fall has arrived, but there's still time to get your landscaping complete before the snow flies. And PMF Landscape Supply in West Bend has everything you need with fresh mulch arriving daily. From premium hardwood mulch to hemlock and pine bark to EnviroMulch in red, gold, chocolate brown, and black colors. PMF also has a large variety of decorative stone and granite, as well as field stone, topsoil, and compost. For all your landscaping needs, visit PMF Landscape Supply, 5470 River Road in West Bend. Call 262-338-8800 or visit pmflandscape.com. Friends of racing for many years. PMF Landscape Supply in West Bend.
Attention race fans, Road America in Elkhart Lake, Wisconsin now has 2024 season passes available at discount pricing. The earlier you buy, the more you save. Makes a great gift for yourself or the motorsport enthusiast on your list. This includes over 50 days of action-packed racing, including IndyCar, Moto America, IMSA Sports Car, and more. Don't wait. Get your 2024 Road America season discounted passes today at roadamerica.com. Come for the experience, stay for the race. Road America, America's national park of speed.
From racing engines to street engines, long blocks to turnkey packages, or complete custom engines, just ask and Wagner Automotive can fill your needs. All backed by many years of racing experience. These years of experience have provided reliability and performance that customers need to win races. Wagner's has been building championship winning engines for top teams from NASCAR to short tracks in your backyard. This expertise has carried over to street engines they supply to top custom car builders. The Wagner Company, in the heart of Wisconsin, is outfitted with the state-of-the-art machinery necessary to design, manufacture, build, and test custom engines and their accessory parts. Dyno services are independently available for anyone needed to test their engine. Wagner's Company can also provide you or your company with production CNC machining or welding services. All your questions and requests are handled personally by Casey Wagner. Just give us a call at 920-394-3557 or visit our website at wagnerautomotive.com.
Start your engine!
Charlotte Motor Speedway.
The Bank of America Roval 400 is now underway with the green flag flying.
It's going to be Tyler Reddick. He'll use the outside and take the race lead.
Trouble in the chicane on the front stretch. Daniel Suarez collects Corey LaJoie. He spins going into the grass.
Chase Elliott shot out of a cannon, but Allmendinger is going to try to hold strong.
Sunday, coverage starts at noon on Milwaukee's Home for NASCAR, the Big 920, and your iHeartRadio app.
Welcome back to the LTN Hour. Let's talk NASCAR on the Big 920. I'm PJ Noodleman, joined by Dan Margetta and Brian Schmidt. And you boys were pretty excited, and you already knew a lot of the dates when the 2024 NASCAR schedule came out. What are your initial thoughts on the schedule?
I don't think there was a whole lot of super surprises just because, the Iowa thing got leaked out a couple days early. That was the biggest surprise of them all, that we weren't going to Montreal and going to Iowa. I mean, the big talk was we're going to go to Canada. And that was like what they always wanted to do. And suddenly it wasn't, there was talk that may not happen. Then we didn't know where we were going to go. And Iowa kind of came out of nowhere. It makes sense now we know all about it. But that was the biggest surprise for me. As far as moving dates around, I'm a little concerned about going Daytona, Atlanta to start the year out with two the old used to call them plate races. You don't have to plate them, but speedway races where you can have a tendency to wreck a bunch of cars.
Yeah.
So that's kind of crazy. And then they have those guys trek out west right after that. I mean, that was the things that stood out to me.
How about you, Brian? What were your initial takeaways?
Yeah, I mean, the Iowa thing caught me by complete surprise. When it leaked out earlier in the week. I guess I was a little disappointed in how the media portrayed it. I didn't see the actual press conference that NASCAR had, but NASCAR, or the way it leaked out was, well, we can't go to, Montreal, so we're just going to go to Iowa. And, if you're the people in Iowa, you're like, really? I mean, we're going to be second fiddle, to Montreal. I think it's cool. It's a great facility. NASCAR's owned it for years. IndyCar has showed that you can make it work there. So I think it's going to be a slam dunk out there. You're going to have a full house no matter what because the place is the seating there is smaller than the Milwaukee Mile by almost 10,000. So they're going to probably add seats there to fill it up. A night race on Sunday is slightly concerning for people that want to travel from a distance. I know, like for us, we're probably not going to, head out there simply because the logistics of it, you got to take a whole nother day to get back. But I think that'll be successful. Some of the other things, I was kind of surprised to see Bristol's date fall on Sunday, March 17th. All the talk with them taking the dirt off and going back to the concrete was to give them a better date with better weather. Well, they certainly didn't do that. I mean, March 17th in Tennessee could be snowing, it could be 80, it could be 30. I mean, you don't know what you're going to get there. So I think the attendance there is not going to be what you're going to expect given the weather conditions in that.
Join the Glow Party. Maybelline is heating up iHeartRadio Fiesta Latina with our new Super Stay Skin Tint. Get bright, sweat-resistant coverage that won't quit for up to 24 hours. Maybe she's born with it, maybe it's Maybelline.
The 5-star review. It's as important to contractors as it is to customers. ServiceTitan can help you earn more stars on the most popular review sites with innovative all-in-one software designed to keep customers coming back for more. Take it from the guys at Rainforest Plumbing and Air.
The best customer experience we can provide at Rainforest Plumbing and Air might be helping our customers afford what they need.
Yeah, with ServiceTitan, we can build financing options, even for 0% interest, right into the proposal, and the application takes like 5 minutes.
It's crazy how convenient that is.
ServiceTitan helps contractors in plumbing, HVAC, electrical, and other trades deliver the modern experiences customers have come to expect in a more connected world. From self-scheduling appointments online to technician tracking and two-way texting to simplified payment processes. With ServiceTitan, every step of the way is easier and more convenient for your customers. That translates to repeat business and more loyalty for you. Start earning more 5-star reviews and winning more jobs. Schedule a demo today at ServiceTitan.com. That's ServiceTitan.com. ServiceTitan.com.
Location at that time of the year. So I think that was a bummer for them. But other than that, the rest of the schedule is pretty straightforward. We all thought that Chicago was going to maybe come back because we hadn't heard anything about it not. The date was leaked way back right after the race that it would be Sunday, July 7th, and that's what they're going with again. So,
and you boys booked your hotel already?
Yeah, we did. We got that before when we first heard the leak. So hopefully the weather cooperates with them and they can have a full-on event this year.
I'm surprised that league didn't get out to more people because we talked to some insider people at Road America later in the year. They had booked their rooms for the same weekend it was this year, which is it's a week later. We had to tell them you better go rebook those before they announce that schedule because it's
right.
Not the way you think it is.
Playoffs are going to have a little bit different look. Daytona being 2 before the cutoff. That's not the big old wild card. I mean, it's still a wild card race, but it's not like the one that sets it. You have the Southern 500 the following week. Be interesting to see with the the road course with Watkins Glen there. I was surprised to see the Roval come back. I really honestly thought they were going to go with the oval at Charlotte again because of the exciting racing that they had there. But they're going to do another year of the Roval, so that was a surprise to me as well.
How long do you think they're going to keep doing that Roval?
I think today might be a test to see how we run the day and how that race goes. Because I mean, they seem to be into a pattern. Some of their changes real quick. The Brickyard back to the Indy Oval I think is cool. I'm a little worried about another speedway race and another road course in the playoffs. That's going to really make that more of a wild card 10 races than it was already. So luck plays more of a factor in that than maybe your skill. But I think they're in a tendency to they run a couple of races a certain place and then to avoid it getting stale. I can see them moving things around, like moving dates around, like maybe, Iowa's this year, maybe it'll be next year. I don't know, but then maybe after 2 or 3 years, they'll stop and they'll come back to other places like maybe Road America or something like that, just to prevent these events from kind of stealing, or bottoming out and kind of just becoming people becoming complacent with going at some of these other tracks. I can see them taking those dates and moving those around every couple of years and doing something like that.
And the schedule, and we also got to remember this schedule that we see in front of us for 2024 is not going to be going forward probably ever again because of the new TV contract and with the 2 weeks off for the Olympics. July 28th and August 4th are, prime summer weekends in the entire United States that they're not going to be racing simply because the TV network they had to tell them to take the week off. I'm sure that's going to go into the new contract negotiations, and I would be stunned if that ever happens again because of the angst NASCAR had with having to do that. So this schedule you see in front of you now is something you're not probably going to see again. I mean, the championship race is actually a week later than it is. Usually they want to end the first weekend in November. It's going to be the second week in November because they had to build in those two off dates for the Olympics, and then them racing on Father's Day. That was the time they always wanted to take off the last several years. Well, now they couldn't do it because of NBC. So hopefully when they renegotiate the schedule, if they happen to want to go with NBC again, that is off the table and they won't have to take time off in the middle of summer, prime vacation time because of TV.
Yeah, that's kind of a cluster in and of itself for sure. And then there's probably two sides of that coin. Some of the drivers are probably actually kind of excited because that'll give them some prime family time during summer.
Absolutely.
But then it obviously takes away from us being able to watch racing. One of the good pieces about that is that it might offer some of the racers that do like to go back and do their short track route racing that they might be able to do some of that during that time.
Yeah, that'd be kind of cool to see. Because and the 2-week break, the way in this here and now world kind of thing, that if you're gone and out of sight for 2 weeks, it's out of sight, out of mind kind of thing. You don't get that continuity. You kind of want to keep your ratings and it going. What if we have great races leading up and all of a sudden, I want to see you in 2 weeks?
Yep.
People will forget about it.
Yep. Yeah. Out of sight, out of mind, as you said, for sure. And on that short track note, mentioning about maybe they'll have some of the guys doing some short track racing. Dan Margetta and I are actually in West Salem. It is the Oktoberfest race weekend. We're going to be over there. We'll have some results from the festivities already coming up in just a bit.
200-miler today.
Yeah.
Today's the headline. And Ty Majeski's got it starting in the back, probably 28th or 29th, and an extra 10,000 plus if he gets the win.
Yeah, after setting fast time, he's taking that ultimate challenge for the extra 10. That'll be awesome to see if he can pull it off. Well, we are going to be taking a break here, and when we come back for you, some other news and some recap from Talladega. Ryan Blaney punching his tickets. This is the Big 920.
Win $1,000 in inflation compensation. Happening now.
Listen for the keyword weekdays 9 to 5, then go to our website and simply enter. Check it out at thebig920.com.
As a growing manufacturing company, we needed security solutions. We chose Bonafide because of the services they offer, pricing, and trusted reputation. But it's their outstanding service and support that convinced us we made the right choice with Bonafide.
When businesses need security, they contact Bonafide Security Solutions. From locks and alarms to safes and surveillance, we do it all. We are Bonafide. We protect what you value. For your free security survey, call us today or visit bonafidesafe.com.
Miller Sales and Service is the Midwest's #1 Bravo trailer dealer for customer service and satisfaction. Serving the area since 1939, Miller's is located on the corner of Highway 57 and K in Random Lake. As the Midwest's #1 Bravo trailer dealer, Miller's has all kinds of Bravo trailers from 8 feet to 48 feet in stock. They also have a selection of B&B utility and dump trailers, reliable and Chilton open aluminum and steel trailers. With over 50 pre-owned low-mileage cars, trucks, and SUVs, Miller's has just the vehicle you are looking for. Miller's also carries a full line of Alumacraft boats and Manitou pontoon boats, complete with Evinrude outboards. Why not buy from racers who know what racers want and need? With Miller's Sales and Service on the corner of Highway 57 and K in Random Lake. Call Jerry, Tom, or Brad Miller today at 920-994-4358. That's Miller's Sales and Service, 920-994-4358.
This week on NASCAR Live, Ryan Blaney joined the show.
Takes a lot of stress off, this weekend to where we can really focus on Vegas. Trying to start off the round of 8 with a great showing at Vegas. And we all know how big it is to try to win Vegas. I think the playoff guy who wins Vegas, they have the best shot to win at Phoenix because you have 2 weeks to prepare.
There's much more waiting for you each week on NASCAR Live.
Every Tuesday night at 6 on the Big 920 and your iHeartRadio app.
Welcome back to the LTN Hour on the Big 920. I'm PJ Noodleman, joined by Dan Margetta and Brian Schmidt. We were talking schedule, the new NASCAR 2024 schedule, and we didn't really touch yet on the Xfinity and truck schedule. Brian, Milwaukee is going to be on again.
Yes, Milwaukee did get their truck race back again next year, same weekend again also. So we're going to have like a speed week at the Milwaukee Mile. After being dormant for all those years, we're going to be racing like 3 races in 8 days there. So that's pretty exciting. Book your weekends now for the end of August and the Labor Day weekend to spend some at the Milwaukee Mile. But the Xfinity Series not racing at Road America, they added an additional date at Talladega. So the Xfinity Series is going to go to Talladega twice. They're going to go to Atlanta twice, and they're going to go to Daytona twice. Dan, what do you think the owners think of that? Especially when we see what the races are like at those tracks.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, the repair bill might go up a lot. I mean, you got to adjust your budgets, I think, because I think you go into some of those races, some of those speedway races, or they have the pack racing. You almost got to think, you're not bringing this car back because the chances of it happening are greater.
Mm-hmm.
And so I can imagine them not being happy that way, because you can write off a car.
Yeah, that doesn't sound like an overly great thing. They're going to go back to Indianapolis on the oval. I saw that. So that Xfinity race is on the oval at Indianapolis. And Xfinity Series, we talked about the break the Cup Series has. The Xfinity Series races Saturday, July 20th at Indianapolis. Then they don't race again until Saturday, August 17th at Michigan. So they get 3 full weeks off, which to me seems like an awful long time for them. Truck Series is similar. They have a lot of time off. And I was kind of surprised with the Truck Series not being a part of the NBC TV package, that they're taking the time off for the Olympics as well. They didn't try to sneak a race in on their schedule. That's kind of what I had thought maybe Milwaukee would land in there, but they are not. So they're taking 2 weeks off. Milwaukee's going to be the first race of the playoffs this year for them. They get to go to Bristol twice next year on the concrete instead of their one race. That's where they do. The Truck Series is not running a standalone race next year at Mid-Ohio. Mid-Ohio has been taken completely off the schedule for them. So I don't believe the Truck Series even they have one road race, I believe, at the Circuit of the Americas. Yep, that's it. That's their only road race for the year. Xfinity Series, their lone standalone race is out of Portland. So that's their only one where they'll be all by themselves as well. So NASCAR really kind of compounding or packing their series into companion events all over the place. Truck Series, Lucas Oil Speedway at Indianapolis, and Milwaukee are their only standalone races next year.
I noticed, like last year, since some of the standalone races we were at, that the support crew that comes for the races and Cup weekend, they also work the Xfinity and truck races. I didn't realize how many of those people actually were, doing both, all 3 series at the time, went on the same track. And so in the standalone events, they don't have as big a crew to come out and actually, take care of the media center, take care of all the different things, the PR
inspection,
stuff.
even the inspecting people,
Well, and even beyond that, for the teams, there's a lot of spotters that do multiple series. So that's helpful for them to have companion events going on.
I mean, I could see 2 ways of that. It's kind of a bummer because, I mean, I remember back, in the 90s and stuff, it was cool to see back then the Busch Series go to these small tracks like, Myrtle Beach and Hickory and all those tracks. And, back then they used to run Volusia, back in the day. And I thought that was a cool way to do it. And I wish there was a way you could get the Truck Series and the Xfinity Series to run some more of those events, but you can kind of tell just by how the schedule is going out that they're trying to go away from it. And I think it's more of a logistic standpoint from, supporting those events versus them, being able to do it financially. That's kind of seems to be the way they're going with that.
I would agree on that for sure. For sure. Well, Talladega was last weekend. Ryan Blaney punching his tickets. I'm excited about that. I had him picked for one of my Final Four.
I always liked Ryan Blaney. I thought he's always been he's a racer. He comes from a racing background type deal, and he always kind of seems like luck never goes his way in these deals. So it's kind of cool to see him move on. And when he needed it, he was kind of on the borderline of not making it too. And a good, exciting finish, and it was almost perfect. It would have been perfect if they wouldn't have wrecked behind them all. But they all wrecked behind him again. We wrecked a bunch of cars.
And his quote afterwards, when he was asked why he didn't do the burnout, God bless him. His quote was, you don't see the Kentucky Derby winners getting off of their horse after they win and beating the snot out of the horse, do you? And that's beautiful. And I love that. And that's some real respect that you have then for your equipment too.
Oh, yeah. That's a racer talking right there. And you can tell Ryan Blaney's got, racer in his background, his dad, all those years racing and stuff. I mean, that's great. I mean, sometimes I think these burnouts get ridiculous, when their tires are flying apart. And I know some of the fans like it, but I never really got real excited about that.
Yeah.
The big news coming out of there as well was your second place car, Kevin Harvick, a good finish, and then boom, the air gets deflated out of him. Disqualified an inspection for windshield fasteners.
Window clips or something.
The fasteners, the bolts came out. There were 7 bolts missing. And this week, I give NASCAR credit. They had pictures of the car. They had the bolts missing, and the team didn't deny that the bolts were missing. They claimed it probably happened during the race. Now, was that
7 bolts?
Was that by design? I mean, nobody on the car had it, or is the air that much over the window that it comes off? That's where the big question is. I think if other cars would have had it, they probably would have looked the other way a little more.
Yeah.
They didn't appeal it. But, that aerodynamic thing is so sensitive. It's so crazy that the things I think of to make just a little tick of an advantage, and you never believe it. And like Brian at the time at Chicago, where that sticker was up, and he put the sticker back down, and he went nuts. That was supposed to be there. So, I mean, something that small makes that big of a difference.
It can, especially at a place like Talladega.
Just imagine Just imagine if Riley Herbst would have been able to hold a steady wheel there. I think if he would have kept it straight, he would have pushed Harvick across the line first. I mean, would they have gonged Harvick, the winner of the race for that penalty? NASCAR is all saying, yeah, we would have, but would they have? I don't know.
I don't know. It still felt a little disheartening, though, to have that second place finish taken away, because you'd like to see Harvick go out on a somewhat of a high note. So I'm hopeful that he can still pull a rabbit out of his hat. I like him. He's a very likable guy, and I'm looking forward to his kid even coming up through the ranks.
I'm glad he's the plan is to have him do some TV work and still be around. I think he's a great asset in the booth as far as he's another racer guy that's been there and knows it, and he's not one that's going to give you a bunch of fluff. I mean, he'll be they can tell him to do it one way and he'll be like, nah, it's the way we all racers do it kind of thing. And I think that's good to have him stay around.
Well, and he's a personality. He's not afraid to be confrontational if he needs to be. And he can also be quite funny when he needs to be as well, too. Speaking of confrontation, we will be also in just a bit chatting a little bit more about the repercussions between Nick Sanchez and Matt Crafton from that truck series.
A couple suspensions, and Dad got involved. So that's cool that they dumped Dad. That always makes it worse when Mom and Dad get involved in the deal, and especially in something like that. I mean, you can't have fighting. Those that's been around a while know that's people learn that way sometimes. You didn't do dumb rules anymore and stuff, and hopefully that's. And I think it's the end of it. I don't think it's something that's going to go forward. I think that was just okay. We're going to take care of it now. Boom, it's taken care of.
Yeah. As long as we're talking, let's just quickly say, do you believe that Matt Crafton tapped him on the shoulder and he turned and Sanchez said something to him? Or do you think that it was the sucker punch as claimed?
I don't know. I think it's a little bit of both, kind of somewhere in the middle. I think he might have tapped him on the shoulder, but I'm sure Sanchez mouthed off too. So
we'll chat a little more.
Join the Glow Party. Maybelline is heating up iHeartRadio Fiesta Latina with our new Super Stay Skin Tint. Get bright, sweat-resistant coverage that won't quit for up to 24 hours. Maybe she's born with it, maybe it's Maybelline.
The 5-star review. It's as important to contractors as it is to customers. ServiceTitan can help you earn more stars on the most popular review sites with innovative all-in-one software designed to keep customers coming back for more. Take it from the guys at Rainforest Plumbing and Air.
The best customer experience we can provide at Rainforest Plumbing and Air might be helping our customers afford what they need.
Yeah, with ServiceTitan, we can build financing options, even for 0% interest, right into the proposal, and the application takes like 5 minutes.
It's crazy how convenient that is.
ServiceTitan helps contractors in plumbing, HVAC, electrical, and other trades deliver the modern experiences customers have come to expect in a more connected world. From self-scheduling appointments online to technician tracking and two-way texting to simplified payment processes. With ServiceTitan, every step of the way is easier and more convenient for your customers. That translates to repeat business and more loyalty for you. Start earning more 5-star reviews and winning more jobs. Schedule a demo today at ServiceTitan.com. That's ServiceTitan.com. ServiceTitan.com.
How about that? We come back. This is LTN.
Win $1,000 in inflation compensation. Happening now.
Listen for the keyword weekdays 9 to 5, then go to our website and simply enter. Check it out at thebig920.com.
Attention race fans, Road America in Elkhart Lake, Wisconsin now has 2024 season passes available at discount pricing. The earlier you buy, the more you save. Makes a great gift for yourself or the motorsport enthusiast on your list. This includes over 50 days of action-packed racing, including IndyCar, Moto America, IMSA Sports Car, and more. Don't wait. Get your 2024 Road America season discounted passes today at roadamerica.com. Come for the experience, stay for the race. Road America, America's national park of speed.
As a growing manufacturing company, we needed security solutions. We chose Bonafide because of the services they offer, pricing, and trusted reputation. But it's their outstanding service and support that convinced us we made the right choice with Bonafide.
When businesses need security, they contact Bonafide Security Solutions. From locks and alarms to safes and surveillance, we do it all. We are Bonafide. We protect what you value. For your free security survey, call us today or visit bonafidesafe.com.
Monday, the Packers are in Vegas to battle the Raiders.
He's gone to the house. Touchdown, Green Bay Packers. Aaron Jones, electrifying wow. Dontavian Wicks breaks a tackle, 10 to the 5, end zone, touchdown, Green Bay Packers.
Packers game day with Doug Russell starts at 3.
Touchdown, Romeo Doubs on the post.
On on Milwaukee's home for the Packers, 97.3 The Game.
Oh, I love Van Halen. Welcome back to the LTN Hour on the Big 920, and we've got
somebody told me that was if you're going to sing karaoke, you got to sing Van Halen's
Jump.
That's the easiest
Oh,
one
you
to
say
sing.
it is.
Karaoke.
Good. We'll do karaoke later over at the Oktoberfest grounds. We got a caller on the line. It's Larry from Pewaukee. Hello, Larry.
Hello, folks. Glad to hear you this morning. With Dan and Brian being hardcore racers, they may already know this, but the weekend that NASCAR is going to be at Newton. The World of Outlaws are racing Friday and Saturday night at Knoxville.
Oh, there's a weekend.
Well, that makes perfect sense there.
Well, now you might be going down there, boys.
I mean, that's the way you do it, though. I mean, if you're going to have a one-time event like that, do it on a weekend with something else in town, because that's how race fans are. They plan their whole weekend around something. I mean, some of those, especially those dirt guys, I've been on a couple of those. We're going to hit midget week in Indiana. We're going to hit sprint week, or we can hit a sprint car race here, and we got a non-wing sprint car race here, and then Lucas Oil late miles here, and the Will Outlaw here, and you put a whole 4 or 5 day thing together, and if it's close like that, people will do that.
No different than a band booking a tour. They like to try to find lined up dates that are close by. Good info. Thanks for sharing, Larry. Thanks for calling and listening to the LTN Hour. All right. So there is some other news out there as well, too. Haley Deegan is going to be going Xfinity racing next year.
That's a good thing. I just think she'd be better in a car than in the truck. A lot of people have told me that the trucks are way different than the cars, and it's a whole different ball game. She hasn't had that great results in the truck. I mean, she's got decent equipment. She's in one of the better teams. But a lot of people said that when you get to the cars, a whole new ball game. And I think the start she had with Bobby Dotter's team showed some you know, potential there. So I think it's a good thing for her to get out of the trucks into the car. Now, whether you can do something with it now, that's up to her now.
Well, good point. Very good point on that with the difference between the car and the truck. But I will also say this, and I speak just from experience from my husband, Toby, who has worked with some female drivers in the past. I'm not trying to play the female card here, but a lot of times some crew chiefs or race engineers don't necessarily take the feedback that a female driver is giving because they feel like they know better than what the driver is feeling. And you got to set the car up for what's comfortable for the driver. Now, I'm not trying to, exalt Haley Deegan at all by any means, but I just know that I've seen Tobe get results with some female drivers that others had kind of written off because he gave the time, the effort poured in, and helped build up their confidence.
Well, that's a big part of it, too.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a huge part of it. I mean, I think that's the driver's got to be comfortable in the car, no matter what car you're driving. And we've heard in the past, I mean, right, Brian, didn't, when she drove her daughter's car, I mean, he said that she was really wanting to get the results. She wasn't kind of, flaking off somewhere and had a bunch of people come around, right?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, she's big time into this. Bobby was telling us, when she ran, I think it was California in 2022, you have to put your guest list together, and Bobby got the guest list from her, and it just had her mom and dad on there, and Bobby's like, Haley, you got to get me your full guest list in, and she goes, I don't want anybody else there. That's all I want there because all is a distraction. So she does have her heart and soul into this. Her mind is in the right spot. I think sometimes she just doesn't get the results as they are. I mean, Am Racing they're an okay team. I mean, they're not great. Brett Moffitt drives that car off and on now, and he's had mixed results with it. So, I mean, if we think she's going to hop into this car and run in the top 5 and the top 10 every single weekend in the Xfinity Series, it doesn't matter who you put in that car. You're not going to have that. But if they're able to get a little bit more support from Ford and get a little bit, the funding that they need to do it and to get better, maybe we can see her creep into the top 15, and maybe by the end of the year she'll be able to get a top 10 or so, but I don't think she's going to hop into that car and win races right away. I think we're all ridiculous to think that's going to happen. But, I think it's a step in the right direction for her. This jump into Thor Sport this year, we had a lot of high expectations for her, and I think our expectations were probably way too high. She just the whole thing just didn't click over there, and hopefully this will be a step for her that, she can have the success she's looking for.
And that's a 2-car team. We don't know who's going to drive the second car yet. That's
right.
when Moffitt drove it this year, but I think he's not coming back to that deal. So there's another. It'd be interesting who the teammate is too, because if they can get somebody that can work, if they both can work together, they might be able to do something there.
We shall see. We shall see. Back over on the Cup side, Austin Cindric and Harry Burton they've re-signed, so they've got their extended contracts now. No surprise, really. Both of them have parents who are quite well connected with that.
Yeah, and again, both those guys talk about results there too. I mean, Cindric won the Daytona 500. He's always going to have that. That's something they always carry along. Burton's probably going to need, if nothing happens this next year, people are going to start talking. That's the way it is. I mean, it's a result, performance-based sport, and for both of them. And Cindric too. I mean, other than that Daytona 500 one, he hasn't done a whole lot since. I mean, that Daytona 500 one goes a long way. But
yes, Derek Cope, it does.
Right. Yeah, exactly. I mean, but the Daytona 500 is one of those races that you just got to be in the right place at the right time.
Yeah,
on a lap too.
And he was that year.
Yeah. For sure on that. I don't know about Harrison Burton too. I mean, I don't know how long his dad can do the shell game and shuck and jive and slip bills to people to keep things
it's
rolling.
like we said before, you got to start, you run top 20, then you got to run top 15, then top 10. The progression's got to be up there, and that car's kind of been the curve isn't going up. It's just been a straight line.
It's been a plateau.
And it's been a Penske satellite team. So how long is Penske going to want to do this? How long before Ford comes along and says they want to move someone along? A lot of those things are going on. Right now, there's not a whole lot going on the Ford side as far as guys ready to move up right away. We've said for a while here now that it's kind of got a little stale as far as the movement goes, moving people up. But that train is going to start moving again soon, and they're going to want to move some people around. And Harrison Burton, if he doesn't start doing something, he's going to be one of them that's going to be out.
Well, and even beyond the whole Ford thing, I mean, let's be honest, it's kind of like football anymore. People aren't very loyal to their team anymore anyway.
Sammy Smith, as we talked about last week, right?
Yeah, people can switch manufacturers. If they can get a better ride, they're going to go for it. So I guess I'll be curious. How long was Burton's contract, do you know?
I don't know. I think it's just a 1-year deal again. I don't know. Okay. I don't know if they ever said. I know Cindric, I thought was a multi-year thing.
They're pretty close to the vest of
They
all
don't do that
anymore
because people keep track of it. And that's why they don't want the people hounding them. Hey, this is a contract year. We like it when they tell us that. So you can kind of start to see how things are going to, who's. It's funny when guys are in a contract year, when the seat gets hot, you'll see them, perform better.
Yeah, I can see Jeff Burton, pay no attention behind the curtain. Don't look over there. Ryan Newman's going to be back at Homestead in the Xfinity Series. So that's
a 66 car that in for MBM.
I love Ryan Newman.
I do too.
I'm sad that things just kind of fizzled out for him.
Right.
The other big news is Eric Almirola.
Yeah, when you have a sponsor summit, it's odd to not see a driver attend those. And Stewart Haas had one this week, and he was one of the Stewart Haas drivers that I think the only one maybe that didn't attend it. So we've got everybody talking. Like, are you going to be back next year? You talked about retiring. He says don't read into it, so I don't know exactly where he was.
Pay no attention to the man behind the curtain.
But it is something. How important as sponsors are when you have a sponsor event to have a driver not be there. It
raises an eyebrow.
Right.
The writing is on the wall, you would have to say there, right?
For sure, yeah. So, lots of movement yet to be happening in the bowels of Stewart Haas, that's for sure. All right, we're going to take another break. We come back, we'll have some results for you from the short track world. This is the LTN Hour on the Big 920.
Miller Sales and Service is the Midwest's #1 Bravo trailer dealer for customer service and satisfaction. Serving the area since 1939, Miller's is located on the corner of Highway 57 and K in Random Lake. As the Midwest's #1 Bravo trailer dealer, Miller's has all kinds of Bravo trailers from 8 feet to 48 feet in stock. They also have a selection of B&B utility and dump trailers, reliable and Chilton open aluminum and steel trailers. With over 50 pre-owned low-mileage cars, trucks, and SUVs, Miller's has just the vehicle you are looking for. Miller's also carries a full line of Alumacraft boats and Manitou pontoon boats, complete with Evinrude outboards. Why not buy from racers who know what racers want and need? With Miller's Sales and Service on the corner of Highway 57 and K in Random Lake. Call Jerry, Tom, or Brad Miller today at 920-994-4358. That's Miller's Sales and Service, 920-994-4358.
Attention race fans, Road America in Elkhart Lake, Wisconsin now has 2024 season passes available at discount pricing. The earlier you buy, the more you save. Makes a great gift for yourself or the motorsport enthusiast on your list. This includes over 50 days of action-packed racing, including IndyCar, Moto America, IMSA Sports Car, and more. Don't wait. Get your 2024 Road America season discounted passes today at roadamerica.com. Come for the experience. Stay for the race. Road America, America's national mark of speed.
Fall has arrived, but there's still time to get your landscaping complete before the snow flies. And PMF Landscape Supply in West Bend has everything you need with fresh mulch arriving daily. From premium hardwood mulch to hemlock and pine bark to EnviroMulch in red, gold, chocolate brown, and black colors. PMF also has a large variety of decorative stone and granite, as well as field stone, topsoil, and compost. For all your landscaping needs, visit PMF Landscape Supply, 5470 River Road in West Bend. Call 262-338-8800 or visit pmflandscape.com. Friends of racing for many years. PMF Landscape Supply in West Bend.
Start your engine!
Charlotte Motor Speedway.
The Bank of America Roval 400 is now underway with the green flag flying.
It's going to be Tyler Reddick. He'll use the outside and take the race lead.
Trouble in the chicane on the front stretch. Daniel Suarez collects Corey LaJoy. He spins going into the grass.
Chase Elliott shot out of a cannon, but Allmendinger is going to try to hold strong.
Sunday, coverage starts at noon on Milwaukee's home for NASCAR, the Big 920, and your iHeartRadio app.
And now the LTN Hour presents Dirt on the Dirt with Brian Schmidt.
Yes, as the cool fall breezes approach us here, the dirt track season is winding down, but there's still plenty of big money to be had across the country. We'll start Tuesday, Bridgeport, New Jersey. The High Limit Sprint Car Series was there, and Rico Abreu took home the top prize. Thursday night, Port Royal, Pennsylvania, the All-Star Circuit of Champions Tuscarora 50. That's a makeup race from, I believe it was either late August or early September. $62,000 to win on a Thursday night, and Brian Brown took the win over Kyle Larson for the big money there. Friday night, Putnam. What's that?
That's gonna be good for him, for Brian Brown, to take a big money race like that.
Oh yeah, especially coming from, he's a Midwest guy. Usually runs Knoxville, to go into Pennsylvania and take away their money. That's a big feather in his cap for sure. Putnamville, Indiana, the Lincoln Park Speedway Friday night, the inaugural Maverick Wing Sprint Car Series, another new sprint car series out there. $6,000 to win. Cale Thomas was your winner. Bill Balog finished second. Scotty Thiel was there and finished 13th. Brownstown, Indiana, Friday night for the World of Outlaw Case Construction Late Model Series, the Hoosier Dirt Classic. And when there's $10,000 on the line for the World of Outlaws, it's Bobby Pierce that's usually in front, and he was that night, picking up the win there. Port Royal, Pennsylvania for Friday night, the World of Outlaw NOS Energy Drink Sprint Car Series was there, and Tyler Courtney picked up the win there. So far, we've read 3 sprint car results from Pennsylvania, New Jersey area, and not a single Outlaw guy has been mentioned. Saturday night, last night in Beaver Dam, the inaugural Pink Hat Classic for the IMCA Modifieds. Benji Lacrosse was your winner. The stock cars went to Mike Mullen, and the Grand Nationals was Will Source. Up in Three Lakes, Wisconsin, the TNT Speedway opened back up again last night. It's been a couple years since they raced up there. And in the IMCA stock cars, they were the headliner. Tyler Wilson picked up the win. Ogilvie, Minnesota, the Wissota Fall Classic. For the Wissota Late Models, Pat Dorr was your winner. Modifieds was Dan Ebert, and the USRA Limited Lates went to Matt Larson. Lawrenceburg, Indiana, the USAC AMSOIL National Sprint Car Series, Justin Grant was your winner. Wheatland, Missouri, the Lucas Oil Speedway for the USRA Nationals. And the USRA Modified Feature winner was Jake Tim. Port Royal, Pennsylvania, again for the World of Outlaw NOS Energy Drink Sprint Car Series, Zeb.
Join the Glow Party. Maybelline is heating up iHeartRadio Fiesta Latina with our new Superstay Skin Tint. Get bright, sweat-resistant coverage that won't quit for up to 24 hours. Maybe she's born with it, maybe it's Maybelline.
Eyes was your winner. So the World of Outlaw regulars were shut out all week. It's something you do not see real often. Your All-Star Circuit of Champions champion won on Saturday night, and the runner-up, Tyler Courtney, won on Friday night, knocking out the World of Outlaw guys. So that's pretty impressive and something you do not see. Fairbury, Illinois, last night, they closed their season with the World of Outlaw Case Construction Late Models, $15,000 to win for the Falls Frenzy and Bobby Pierce. Wow, it's either Bobby Pierce or Ricky Thornton Jr. And Ricky Thornton Jr. didn't race this weekend, so it's Bobby Pierce picking up the win there.
Everybody told all the money between the two, and who won more?
Oh, my gosh. They're going to top what Jonathan Davenport did last year, I think, at this rate. It's crazy. And the modifieds went to Michael Ledford. And finally, the big money race of the weekend was in Swainsboro, Georgia for the Hunt the Front Late Model Series. $23,000 on the line. And when all the big stars are elsewhere, other guys finally get to make some money. And Carson Ferguson picked up the win in that big money race last night down there. That is everything for this week.
All right, on to the pavement results. Last Sunday for the 58th Annual National Short Track Championships at Rockford. Big 8 late models, Jeremy Miller getting it done and back into victory lane.
That was pretty cool to see, but I feel bad for Dale Nottis, Dad, because he dominated that race and had ignition problems late in the event, like really late in the event.
Yeah.
And then Miller was able to get by and hang on. And it was cool to see Jeremy Miller win because he had never won that event. And being the final one, that was his last chance. And then being a Rockford guy or Illinois guy from down there, and it meant a lot to him.
It was like over 15 years, 16 or 18 years or whatever, since he had been able to win at Rockford. So it was kind of cool. Then this week, it's all about the Oktoberfest race weekend. That's actually where Dan Margetta and I are at right now. On Thursday night, the lacrosse super late model futures, Max Kaler picked up that win. And that's basically those who are under the age of 30 and have not ever won like a major championship.
Right. And Kaler was driving that 47 Chase Motorsports car that comes out of Kaukauna. So it wasn't his normal car. And he looked pretty good. And that was a really great race. I mean, the future guys put on quite an event. I mean, I think it was Goralski that finished second. And they were right there.
The future is bright for racing, for sure. And then we had our super late model nights that also ran on Thursday night. Those are the guys who are over the age of 30 or have championships.
And go figure, they're the guys that had the caution in their event. They had one wreck. But
yeah, right.
I was like, come on.
At the end of it all, though, it was Jacob Gady picking up the win there. He's actually had quite a night. He's had quite the Oktoberfest as well, too. The NASCAR Lacrosse Late Models ran twin features. Jacob Gady picked up the first one. Skylar Holzhausen picked up the second. Holzhausen is the track champion then for lacrosse. And congrats to him on that. On Friday, they ran that Dick Trickle 99. By the way, cool trophies. Weir's Machine. Yes. Massive kudos to them. Those are great looking trophies. So anyway, the Dick Trickle 99, Ty Majeski won the first leg. Johnny Sauter won the second and third. A lot of people were freaking out. Why didn't Johnny win? It's because it's like golf. You get points for where you finish, and the overall then went to Ty Majeski.
Right. I think his score was like 5, right? 2 seconds. So he said 2 for each second and 1 for the win. And Johnny's was like 7 or 9. I think it was 9.
He finished actually 13th in the first race. So it was even. Yeah, but he's going to be a threat today for sure, and more on that in just a bit. The lacrosse late models ran another set of twin features. Go figure, Jacob Gady picking them both up. So congrats to him on that. Last night, we had some more action out here at Lacrosse Fairgrounds Speedway. The Big 8 late models. Wow, was that a slobber knocker? Great race.
Best race of the weekend so far with Zach Riddle and Jacob Gady. And 2 guys that really put on a show and knew how to race each other. Yep. They raced hard. I mean, it wasn't like they didn't make contact, but they didn't wreck each other. And I mean, Riddle was on the inside trying hard, and he would get loose and get into Gady a little bit, and Gady knew how to pinch him down just enough to not wreck him. And it was a great event throughout the whole thing. In fact, I was on the battle cam. We have 2 cameras. We had one that was the lead camera, and I was the battle cam for that race. And towards the end of the race, I was watching the monitor, and I'm like, I better start trying to find some battles because I'm getting caught up in this event.
That's awesome. So yeah, congrats to Zach Riddle on that one. And there's going to be plenty more racing as well, too. Other side note, the Midwest Truck Series also ran yesterday. Ty Majeski set a new track record for that and ended up winning that truck race. That is the same truck that Toby built. They did sell it. The kid who's been driving it just needed a little help trying to get it dialed in. That's why Ty ran that.
The trophy's sitting right here next to me.
Yeah, the trophy and the bullet right there. We are actually broadcasting from the race shop Chris Johnson owns, where Toby and Ty run out of. So thanks to them for letting us use it.
Today's a big end, the finale for the ASA Midwest Tour, 200 laps. Gabe Summers leads the points right now, and he had an issue on Thursday, wrecked one of his cars, but brought the brand new car out on Friday, qualified fast, and he's in the field. Should be a good show.
It will, and Ty took the ultimate challenge. We'll chat about that more when we come back. This is the LTN Hour on the Big 920.
$1,000 in inflation compensation. Happening now.
Listen for the keyword weekdays 9 to 5, then go to our website and simply enter. Check it out at thebig920.com.
From racing engines to street engines, long blocks to turnkey packages, or complete custom engines, just ask and Wagner Automotive can fill your needs. All backed by many years of racing experience. These years of experience have provided reliability and performance that customers need to win races. Wagner's has been building championship winning engines for top teams from NASCAR to short tracks in your backyard. This expertise has carried over to street engines they supply to top custom car builders. The Wagner Company, in the heart of Wisconsin, is outfitted fitted with the state-of-the-art machinery necessary to design, manufacture, build, and test custom engines and their accessory parts. Dyno services are independently available for anyone needed to test their engine. Wagner's company can also provide you or your company with production CNC machining or welding services. All your questions and requests are handled personally by Casey Wagner. Just give us a call at 920-394-3557 or visit our website at WagnerAutomotive.com.
Attention race fans, Road America in Elkhart Lake, Wisconsin now has 2024 season passes available at discount pricing. The earlier you buy, the more you save. Makes a great gift for yourself or the motorsport enthusiast on your list. This includes over 50 days of action-packed racing, including IndyCar, Moto America, IMSA Sports Car, and more. Don't wait. Get your 2024 Road America season discounted passes today at roadamerica.com. Come for the experience, stay for the race. Road America, America's National Park of Speed.
Monday, the Packers are in Vegas to battle the Raiders.
He's gone to the house. Touchdown, Green Bay Packers. Aaron Jones, electrifying. Wow. Dontavian Wicks breaks the tackle. 10 to the 5. End zone. Touchdown, Green Bay Packers.
Packers game day with Doug Russell starts at 3.
Touchdown, Romeo Doubs on the post.
On Milwaukee's home for the Packers. 97-3 the game.
Welcome back to the LTN Hour. We are just about ready to collect the checkered flag here ourselves. Dan Margetta and I are in La Crosse area at the West Salem compound for the Ty Majeski team, basically is where we're broadcasting from. Brian Schmidt joining us as well from Ootsburg. And we were just wrapping up a little bit about the late model stuff. And today is that big Oktoberfest 200. As we alluded to earlier, Ty Majeski did set the fast time. He took the ultimate challenge. It's going to be an extra $10,000 if he can.
Plus, probably.
Yeah, actually, they are over that now. Over $10,000. Then it'll be an extra over 10 if he can win by starting from the back.
That'd be fun to watch him come through. I mean, there's a lot of good cars that we come up with, maybe 4 or 5, 5 that we think for sure will be there, and a couple that are right on the fringe of being there.
Yeah, Johnny Sauter for sure is going to be a threat.
Yeah.
He was very fast during the Trickle 99. He'll be a threat.
And that's the car he wrecked at Kaukauna. If you saw him in the Dixieland race, and they rebuilt that thing. And then to come out of the box quick like that, that's pretty cool.
They rebuilt it, and it is better. So we'll see how they all fare. So, yeah, he's going to be a threat. I think Dalton Zare might have something to say about things. That big fireball coming out back, it won't be as obnoxious because it'll be daylight today.
Right.
And then Danny Fredrickson.
Yeah, you can't ever count him out here, ever.
Never, ever count out Danny Fredrickson. So we shall see how that goes. It's going to be
Summers looked pretty good in that car. I mean, looked fast. So
you know,
I want to be for 200 laps. I can't count him out either. I mean, I know he's got the championship thing to think about, but
he's pretty much got that almost wrapped up, though. So we'll see. But yeah, it's going to be a good race.
Andrew Morrissey's back in the car that won it last year. I mean, he kind of surprised everybody by taking the win in this race.
He's quietly just, ready to pounce and attack. So it's going to be a good race. If you want to watch it, you can stream it on MidwestTour.tv. Dan Margetta is actually one of the camera operators. So if you see something good, you know who caught it. And then, Brian, you had some other extra information about that Chicago street race?
Yeah, the city of Chicago released their economic impact study this week for that race. It's something we've always been wondering how that race went and what the difference it made. And they came out with a lot of the numbers. And it says that the $108.9 million of the money that came in from what they made came from outside of the city. So that's a big thing. They said only 47,000 tickets were sold for that race. So 79,299 was their total attendance for the entire weekend. So that's a lot lower than what I thought. And a lot of people talked about how big the number was. I mean, the 2-day figure for that is lower than what the 1-day figure was at Road America. So that's interesting.
Well, you also have Chicago people counting the money there, though, too, Brian.
Well, right. But I mean, that's why they're coming up with a low number. That's surprising that number is that low. It said all 50 states were represented in there. 15 countries were there. $8.3 million in tax revenue was generated for that thing. They had 29,500 rooms sold for the night. So that's a big thing there. So some interesting numbers coming out of it. Despite the bad weather that they had there and how it all went down, showing some of the real numbers there. But that 47,000 number for tickets, Dan, that's surprising how low that is. But compared to what Road America was able to bring.
But I agree that there are a lot of people from out of town. I mean, we were there. When most people that were there that knew the race was going on were from out of town. The people that were right down there, some didn't even know what was going on. I mean, it was kind of weird that, you can see this going on right next to you. There was a volleyball tournament going on that weekend at McCormick Place. There's a bunch of volleyball players running around too, and they didn't. Well, what are all these cars doing here?
Why are the streets closed?
Wow. People will find anything to complain about, though, won't they?
Right. But I mean, the city of Chicago sounds like they were happy with the numbers they brought in there. So, we'll see if they get good weather in 24 and they can bring it together. I don't know that the number of tickets sold is going to change at all, because I don't think people really could buy tickets at the gate for something like that. I don't think you're going to have a big walk-up crowd that day. I think what you had anticipated is what you had anticipated for sales. So it'll be interesting to see. Sometimes the first one is always the big one. Is it going to dip this year or will it go up? I mean, the rain wasn't forecasted, so it's not like people stayed away because they knew there was a bad weather in the forecast. I mean, it took us all by surprise when it came that day. So now they have something to look at going forward for next year to gauge whether this is going to be good or bad. Because as we know at Road America, it didn't really sag. The attendance stayed good for the 2 years that the Cup Series was there.
True.
So for all of us up here, we're really interested to see how this goes.
Here's a hint. Get a room with a high view.
Yes, there you go.
Do you think that if they want to keep going with the Chicago street race, though, is that going to negatively impact the ability for Road America then?
I don't know. I think it could be both because it's so different. I mean, I think we'll see. I mean, if it comes back, say they go in 25 and they go back to Chicago, can you go both to Chicago and Road America? They're close, but I think the crowds are different, and I think a lot more people like to go to Road America for the traditional road course and the camp for the weekend and that kind of thing. I think they can both survive. Maybe not back-to-back dates, but if you had them, if you had Chicago in July and Road America in August or something like that, like a month apart, I think you could do it. I think the Road America thing, that 4th of July deal was a kind of cool deal because people made that a whole week. And like we talked before, you make a whole week. Come in, you put your camper there, and in that case, you could bring your family. I mean, if the mom and the kids don't really like racing so much, they had things to do there too as well.
Right. Well, speaking of the road courses, again, Cup is racing at the Charlotte Roval. We should probably make our picks now. So who do you think is going to grab the checkers today, Dan?
I'm going to just take it out of limb and go with Christopher Bell in the front row. I don't know. I know Reddick's probably the guy to pick, but I'll go with Bell.
All right. How about you, Brian?
Oh, if you're leaving Reddick, I'm taking him. Tyler Reddick.
I knew I should have gone first. Sorry.
Take the front row.
I will go with William Byron. I think he might pull it off here today as well.
Quick one: is Larson going to make it in or not? I'm going to say he's going to on this by the hair of his chinny chin.
I'm going to say yes too, just because I know how good a driver he is. I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt.
I'm going with yes as well too. 3 yeses. You're on to Hollywood. There you go. All right. Thank you so much for tuning in to the LTN Hour. On behalf of Dan Margetta, Brian Schmidt, and a big thanks as well to our producer, Mr. Matt Losey. We appreciate you. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next week as well. And Todd, thanks for listening too. We appreciate you tuning in. Take care, everybody. Have a great weekend and be safe.
This program has come to you live from multiple locations via Skype. Any and all comments expressed on this show do not necessarily express the opinions of this station, its employees, or advertisers. Your comments are always welcome at mail@ltnradionetwork.com. Find us at facebook.com/LTN Radio Network. And thank you for your support since 1985. Tune in again next Sunday morning at 10 a.m. Central Time for the LTN Hour on the LTN Radio Network.
Judy was boring.
Hello.
Then Judy discovered ChumbaCasino.com.
It's my little escape.
Now Judy's the life of the party.
Oh, baby, mama's bringing home the bacon.
Whoa, take it easy, Judy. The Chumba life is for everybody. So go to ChumbaCasino.com and play over 100 casino-style games. Join today and play for free for your chance to redeem some serious prizes. ChumbaCasino.com.
No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18+ terms and conditions apply. See website for details.